Insert that one GTA soundbite.
Oh shit, here we go again.
A couple videos ago, I made earrings inspired by the Van Helsing movie. Bought jewelry making stuff for that, like jump rings and little beads. And I also, stupidly, some would say, did research about jewelry making on Pinterest. So guess what my Pinterest has been overrun with ever since? All the signs point to me making jewelry again. I've barely been able to think about anything else. So I've gathered you all here today so that I can finally give into the jewelry making urge and do that again. Name's Tommy, welcome to That System Error. This time around, I'm not making earrings, I'm making a necklace. I'm a creative, I hoard stuff, don't try to change me. And that means that I have a bunch of things at all times lying around, just in case, waiting to be used for something. Some of those are quite small and would make great little pendants, even if they're not supposed to be pendants on jewelry. Basically, I just want to make a necklace and attach a bunch of that stuff to it. Trinkets, charms, junk, frankly, but I don't just want to use stuff to make jewelry that is not supposed to be made into jewelry, although that sounds fun and is the main incentive for this. Over time, as a kid, acquired just a buttload of beads and stuff, and I don't really know why or how, so I do just have like a crazy amount of random beads. Also got this necklace that I used to wear. It's just been sitting around unused. Maybe I can double that up or like longer in the front type of shebang. Use this as a base to attach all my stuff to. But I am also gonna do one final big scavenger hunt around my house for anything else that I might want to attach to a necklace, whether it wants to or not. I'm not afraid to Dremel holes into things. Let's just say that. Most of the beads I have are like plastic see-through beads from probably DIY jewelry kits for kids. Also got a bunch of plastic beads from old, very cheap, probably kids jewelry that I could also reintegrate. Random pendants and singular beads that have magically manifested in my stash, I don't know. Wooden beads as well. Good old safety pins, can never go wrong with those. The thing that actually inspired this whole project is actually this little heart pendant that wasn't some chocolate figurine. Quite nice and quite pretty, and I like to keep it around, but instead of just chucking that in a drawer and never seeing it again, yeah, that could work. The small gold and silver beads that I bought for the earring project, pull it all together. Also, I think have some buttons around. Yeah. I think I have some like old coins or something. The risk, so to say, in using stuff that is meant to be jewelry is inevitably gonna touch skin for extended amounts of time, probably. And not everything in this world is made to withstand that, actually. So I don't actually know how this heart is gonna hold up, but I guess I'm ready to find out. But we all do know what coins look like after a little bit, you know? So I'm not sure I really want to deal with that on a necklace that I put a lot of time into. There's definitely not going to be a bead shortage. Speaking of pulling everything together with like the silver or gold beads though, I am a fan of what I like to call organized chaos, which means at first glance it's chaotic, whether that be aesthetics or gallery walls or jewelry, maybe even clothing, or honestly anything visual, probably. In my mind, just means it might be chaotic at first and there's definitely a lot going on, but if you look closer or compare it with unorganized chaos, there is sort of like a through line there, some sort of factor pulling it all together. What I think that is gonna mean in this case for this necklace is that there has to be some sort of limiting factor, for me at least, to feel like this necklace is gonna be versatile, not so chaotic that I won't actually wear it ever. Limited color scheme. Maybe I just pull everything together by limiting myself to either silver or gold instead of mixing those as well. Like a limit in terms of the materials in and of itself. Like just theoretically, if I decided to go with the wooden beads, then maybe I only use wooden beads. And if I decide to go with the plastic see-through beads, then only plastic see-through beads. Are you getting what I'm getting at? Update. I got bad news already. Good news, I hope once that's overcome, there's not gonna be any more. Jump rings that I have do not fit this necklace at all. Although it looks like, I've tried this like 5 times now. I know they don't fit. I've tried different ones at different points, but they look like they should. I think it's just like 2 nanometers or something. So much for making use of the stuff that I already bought for other projects. You know, you see why I keep acquiring things, you know, you need other stuff all the time. So either I get a different base necklace or I get new jump rings that fit this one. These are already pretty small. I think they're like 5 millimeters diameter, but it's not the diameter, but obviously like the thickness of them goes up or down with the diameter. So diameter. It's your language, I'm just participating. I'm gonna go online, have a look around jewelry making websites, and then I'll report back with the results of my findings. I've ordered some stuff. Can't really do a crazy amount while I'm waiting for that. I can keep scavenging. I don't know if I want this more sophisticated or just really look like, well, this stuff was on my floor and now it's around my neck type of vibe. You gotta think big at the beginning and then narrow it down. Fuck it, I'm just throwing it out there. I did recently acquire the Hot Wheels collection of my dad's side of the family, so I guess these are vintage. There's a lot more where these came from, back there in a box. And eventually I thought I could make one of those Hot Wheels belts out of them, but that's a project for a different day. And am I tripping, or could that be a pendant? Nowadays, that shit is all plastic. These are not. That's metal with sharp edges in parts, frankly. So I reckon in the 60s and 70s, you could really do a number on your siblings with these and take somebody's eye out. Smaller trucks as well, in case that's a deciding factor. Did actually bring my chunky necklace that I did not plan on doing anything to. I just have it here for reference because I sort of think it's the perfect length, so I know how long to make the other one. But like, giving I'm weird, I'm a weirdo, I don't fit in, or sickest rapper chain of all time. Maybe I need to make just like detachable pendants for this one. Some dangerous ideas here. I would need like small carabiners to make like stuff for this one. Oh god, now I'm thinking about it. I'm just gonna put this back where it came from and concentrate back on the project at hand. I'm not quite sure if I want it to be so childhood toy heavy, but I also might make even more jewelry in the future, you know? So gotta keep all those ideas in the bank. Just in case. Just like I keep everything else. Just in case. A personality trait that people who live with creatives that aren't creatives themselves have definitely always appreciated, admired, and never commented negatively on. I'm not trauma dumping, you are. I just had a lot of things to explain to my parents over the course of my life. I had a look around for some more stuff, mostly old jewelry, headbands, that kind of stuff. From this box that is usually back in the supply cabinet. But also, the stuff that I ordered came in. How does the Blues Clues song go again?
We just got a letter.
Okay, looks like everything's here. I got some wire for good measure and some pins as well, just so I can make proper charms and stuff out of stuff. But I guess the most important part is to check whether or not these smaller jump rings now fit that necklace. Yes! Close one. But hey, it fits. They do not have a massive amount of room, but they still like dangle and move around enough. All good there. I guess now it's time for the really fun part. Lay out all the possible stuff that I have, play around with it until I get a combination of things that I like together. So I've got the base shape sorted, I think. Luckily I could open this bigger ring from the original clasp and attach it from the end of the original chain to the halfway point to double this whole thing. Well, slightly off halfway because this outer part is a little bit longer. And then I attach the middle of these two with one of my new jump rings that actually fits. So now this is what I'm working with. I'm definitely gonna attach these double parts at different points, or maybe just completely join them together somehow. We'll see where we end up. But in order to achieve my plans of organized chaos, this is the symmetrical base shape that I'm starting with, and now I'm just gonna asymmetrically attach all of this stuff to it. So I got some more buttons. I also sorted through my random collection of nuts and bolts to see if I could find anything, and I did too, namely, might include those. I actually love this button in particular, because who doesn't like a little red elephant? Not sure if it's a good fit for this project, but you know, maybe. I marked some more points where I would like the double chain to be joined with more jump rings. I've been talking a lot about like charms and stuff, and I've been collecting a lot of things that would work like charms, as in hanging off of the final necklace. I want those sprinkled throughout, but I don't want it to just read charm necklace the way you would, you know, like a charm bracelet. I'm aiming for it being sort of thicker in and of itself and like loaded with beads and stuff, and then occasionally a charm dangling off it. Maybe not too far even. Maybe I can just use this jewelry wire that I got and just sort of weave it through the chain links and attach a bunch of stuff that way. I did not, in fact, solve my issue of having a prop neck, so to say, so I can see what I'm doing exactly. I've just been putting it on and taking it off, and this has proven surprisingly helpful. Let me just check something. Honestly, I was expecting her to look a lot worse than she does. I've definitely painted her pupils at some point. I don't know why. And no, she did not come with bangs. I don't really think it matters who you give one of these to. If they own one of them and a pair of scissors, they're eventually gonna cut bangs. It's a tale as old as time. Put her hair more up, but then might come in handy. Ironically, I think this bold might be too bold. I tried to fit it in there. It's going quite well so far. I think the proportions aren't right. And it's dragging this side down, which I think it's always gonna do. It might just be too heavy. It's a shame because I really like the look of it. Well, I guess it will be there when another project needs it. I'm about halfway done, well, a little bit more than halfway. And now I have to attach more wire to this one because I'm running out. I was originally only going to use that to attach these two outer chains together. Then I don't know what the hell I was planning to do here, because once I got there, I was like, it would probably be better to keep going with the wire. Quite well measured for this part only, I want to emphasize that, but not long enough to finish this over here. So, but once I'm done with that, chain's obviously peeking out everywhere, which means I can still attach like more of like the charm type of stuff that I have laying around to those parts. That's the step after this one.
That clip falls under my single favourite genre of actually isn't that much of a stretch, and that is what our story.
Happy with it. Shout out to my friend back there for helping me out during this. Overall, it's the right amount of like cluttered and not cluttered, and color and not color. They're all kind of muted, and that's very important because otherwise I will not wear it. I actually had like a bright yellow bead like back here on the part that I started. Then I left it overnight and I came back the next morning feeling real good about the progress I made. I saw that and I was like, no. What the hell was I thinking when I put that there? Took the yellow one out and then redid it, and now we're all good. We're all good. Did only use the tiny silver beads in between there occasionally. Help with the spacing because some of the beads were a bit bigger, just sticking out weirdly, so surrounding them with smaller beads sort of tied them back into the chain really nicely. Overall, there's, I think, a good amount of silver, so that pulls it all together. I could also just turn this, or if it moves on its own, that's also fine because, you know, there's stuff going on all around. Now, usually at the end of my project videos, I tell you about all of the media that I consumed during it, you know, what I listened to, what I watched, just to give you a fun, very, very, very loose idea of how long something might have taken me. And weirdly, this time, nothing. Tried to start a YouTube video, wasn't feeling it, and then ditched that. Might have watched one episode of Last Week Tonight that I started during my lunch break, so not even a whole one. Maybe I also finished a podcast episode that I had started on my walk, but it couldn't have been more than 5 minutes. The statistics for this are definitely skewed because it did take longer than what I just said. I don't know what happened there, but I doubt this phase will last. I reckon there's gonna be more on my list by the end of my next project. I hope anyways, because otherwise, who am I? I'm gonna give you the final detailed tour. The tiny little black beads are from this bracelet that I already partially took apart when I gave my bag a makeover. See-through weirdly shaped ones are from a bracelet that I think I made in kindergarten. There's a couple on there from a necklace I made at my elementary school best friend's birthday party. 2 of the same buttons from I don't know what. Dangly flowers from a choker that I got for my birthday when I was like, I don't know, 11 maybe? The oil slick beads are from a jewelry set that I got from a gumball machine. This thing is from an old bracelet that came apart, and if you're German and born in the late 90s, early 2000s, you will remember this character. Blue bead from a beaded headband that I used to wear all the time in 5th grade. Dangly gemstones are from old earrings. The least heavy bit from my random nuts and bolts collection, which is why it actually made it on here. Cheap bracelet that also came apart that I won at a fair. 2 beads from something else that I'm pretty sure I made at a kid's birthday party, but I have no clue what it was actually supposed to be. Sneakily tucked in an earring that I bought on a school trip to France, and I lost the second one at some point, so now this is on here. The thing that the heart from the chocolate figurine is dangling from is from an old keychain. That little silver star at the end? Absolutely no idea. My best guess, you know the toys that come with children's magazines sometimes? I guess it could have been that, but what exactly? No clue. That's a tour, I guess. Oh, also, I need to show you something. I may have actually attached a carabiner to this toy car. And I don't know if I'm ever gonna really wear this out, but it's an idea so stupid I just had to get it out of my system, alright? Flavor Flav's got nothing on me. Just in case you're more of a car person for whatever reason than I am, and this one specifically, not a Hot Wheel, a growler. Whatever the hell that is. Before I go, at the end of my project, I also always put something on the cork wall to commemorate it. Oftentimes a sketch that I made early on, which I didn't for this. I made this schematic drawing at some point because I counted the individual chain links for these parts so that they're even. I guess that's going on there. Just FYI. Rock on or whatever. Bye.